How good can he be?
Yeah, I mean, where will he end up playing? You know, when Saka, a nice problem to have when Saka comes back available from fitness. I mean, we've still got Martinelli and Saka to think about to come along later on. So, you know, this is a kind of a rescue operation for Arsenal and this is, I mean, this young man was just, I thought he's immense coming in off the line. He's so confident. He steps into the ball, Joe, and he's aggressive when he travels with it. Look, he's trying to find his range. Declan Rice trying to get into that position. They couldn't find him, but he looks so assured for such a young man. He steps in and makes the right pass. His decision-making is different class.
Yeah, decision-making. And you know what? He's a strong little thing as well. He's like, that strike there,
hitting the bar there.
The bar with their left foot, right foot. You can't mark him because he can go both ways. Christensen's got stood up a couple of times here. Do you know what these touches he produces? In and around the box, these little tiny touches. You know, I don't even want to say it, but it's like Messi. You know,
yeah, but the skill.
I've said it. But all I'm saying, he's not. Listen, I don't want to put any more pressure on the kid's shoulders. I'm sure he'll deal with it. But the touches he makes as he receives the ball off the back foot entices the defender, and then a little touch off the top of the toe to put him off balance. He plays with such just confidence, and he's just a beautiful player. The one thing I would say is, and he has already had a hamstring injury this year, Arsenal and Mikel Arteta have to protect him. They're chasing the game now. I would imagine there would have been conversations where we need to make sure he's ready for next week. Maybe 60 minutes today, 70 minutes. You don't want him to get into the same situation where he's like a Michael Owen, where he's relying on him.
I like the way you whispered the Messi word, though, Joe. You don't want to put that pressure on him. But Joe is right. They are going to need to protect him,
He's only getting a
Martin.
chance, though, because Saka is out. And it's testament to the depth that the club have. The academy is buzzing now, seeing two great young players coming in. You know, we talked about how humble they were. Look at that young man tonight. I mean, everything he did, his skill set, the pace, he's assured in possession, he's confident, he's determined. He hits one off his left foot, hits one just as well off his right foot. It's all there under the bonnet, waiting to come out. And now he has a platform. And boy, do we need him, because we've been without, you know, top players now. And as I say, the pressure, the anxiety now moves across to Liverpool, because they'll be watching that. That was a nice cushion. It could have been 9 points at the beginning of the week. Now it's down to 4. And this is the psychological impact these results are having. You know, it was raining, it was cold, it was looking a dreary day for Arsenal, and somehow they found 2 goals from nowhere, and now we're saying it's a different situation at the end of the day.
There was also a really great tackle as well at 0-0 from Miles Lewis-Skelly out there as well, and it was interesting before the game that Mikel Arteta was saying about the young players, about knowing when they're ready, and he said you can see it with the senior players, whether they trust them, Joe, and can you see that out there with those two?
Yeah, absolutely. And this kid, Miles Skelly, his confidence and the way he approaches it straight away. You know, young players, you know, when you see the senior players giving them the ball constantly. You know, he was playing that dual role, Mike, when he was like playing left back and he was rotating into midfield. That's a big responsibility for a young player to have, because you're making a lot of the decisions, you know, when you go in there, when you don't go in there. But the players kept feeding him the ball, And his mindset, he's a competitor. We've seen that with all of the shenanigans over the last few weeks, which I like and I think's right. But them 2 young players there have been in this sort of semi-grey period for the club, because they would have thought they would have kicked on. Having them 2 could arguably take them on to the next stage, because I think they're absolutely sensational.